Yeah, let's see Repzion's video on that vegan teacher. It's probably going to be bad.
Hello, students. Today we're going to talk about the devil. The devil's name is Gordon Ramsay.
Welcome to the Vegan Teacher Files. If you've ever wanted to watch and hear about somebody that will make you very, very angry, not because of the message, but because of how they spread.
Why the hell do you care about the way they're talking or the way they're spreading a message? Why does that matter? You should care about what they're saying, not how they're saying it. This is just, childish. Aren't you an adult, dude?
Spread the message. This is the woman for you. You've probably heard of her, or at least seen her on TikTok or social media before her TikTok account got nuked for some not so nice things.
Okay, so people have been spreading this lie constantly that vegan teacher's TikTok got banned because she did X or Y. Nobody knows why her TikTok got banned. She doesn't even know why her TikTok got banned. They don't give you a reason for why they ban your account. They're not like YouTube where they might, if you're lucky, say, this video got taken down for harassment or bullying, or this video violated community guidelines in some way. TikTok doesn't do that. They just ban your account. So her account just got banned. She has no idea why. You can only speculate on why. I think it's pretty clear that her account got banned just because she was receiving a ridiculous amount of reports, and many of the reports were false. So TikTok has a policy where you can't display any sort of graphic violence. Now, that vegan teacher would keep this in mind when she made her videos, and she would show something like, let's see, fur industry. I'm just trying to see if I can find the actual photo. So, I'll give you an example. So, that vegan teacher, she would upload a video talking about how the fur industry is cruel. She knew she couldn't show any footage or videos of animals getting their skin ripped off or anything. So what she'd do is she'd find like a PETA advertisement where you can't see the actual animal getting killed, but it was this advertisement that was kind of, it was family friendly, but it actually showed you the violence being committed. So it was a shadow. So it was a shadow being projected onto a wall of an animal being killed. So you couldn't see the animal being killed. You could just see a knife projected onto a wall as a shadow, and an animal hanging projected onto a wall being with a shadow. That would get a strike and get taken down by TikTok. That would get removed for community guidelines. So, no, like, clearly her videos were getting falsely flagged. It's funny how he falsely flagged my videos way back in the day. So, like, dude, you know how easy it can be to get people's accounts taken down. So I don't know why he's spreading this lie that vegan teacher's account got taken down because she didn't adhere to the rules of the platform. It seems to me that she did. Her account just got taken down because she was getting falsely flagged. And again, you've done this to people, dude. You've done this to me. You've done this to other people. Other people have complained about Repzion falsely flagging their content on YouTube. So you know how easy it is to do that.
And ways in which she would spread the message of, which is going to be the subject of today's video, veganism. I think people, no matter what you believe individually, there are extremists on either side of whatever belief that somebody holds. And when one becomes a militant individual towards whatever ideology they withhold, chances
Yeah, so the problem with this claim, Repzion, is that you're not defining militant, you're not defining extreme. What would an extreme vegan be, dude? Like, is that vegan teacher extreme? Like, you honestly think uploading videos where you sing songs on a ukulele, that's extreme to you? Like, are you the most sheltered person who's ever existed? So what I find extreme is brutally murdering billions of animals each year. I think that's extreme. An ongoing holocaust where there's no end in sight is extreme. So I don't know what a vegan could do to be extreme. Like, maybe Like, short of, I don't know, committing actual terrorism, I don't think there are really any vegan extremists.
Our radicalized thinking is only going to disrupt and push people away from what
What's
could potentially
radicalized
be
thinking?
a good change or a good cause, because it's always the rotten bad apples that always seem to have the loudest voice. But before we begin any further, special thanks to the sponsor of the channel today.
What's strange is I'm pretty sure Repzion isn't vegan, so if you think veganism is a good thing, why the hell aren't you vegan?
You've heard of them before. Right here, who has battle. Month of Halloween, rate is bigger. As
Why is Gordon Ramsay an animal bully when instead of eating meat, he could just eat protein-packed veggies? Why does Gordon Ramsay choose to pay for blood and murder when he can just switch over to vegan mayo and a vegan burger? Animals so much? Why does he slice them with a knife instead of offering a life-saving touch? Why does Gordon Ramsay think that kidnapping for cheese is okay? Because that's what the dairy industry does to baby boy cows.
So he's calling this extreme. Making a video where you're doing activism while singing, this is what he's calling extreme. Is there anything wrong about what she's doing or saying here? Like, everything in that song that I've heard so far is pretty reasonable. Yeah, Gordon Ramsay is supporting animal abuse. She's showing what goes on in the industry, and she's trying to make the video a little more entertaining and culturally relevant, or, you know, grab a certain audience by making a song about it.
Every day. Why? Why does Gordon Ramsay make fun of animal defenders? Why does he think it's okay to send his baby boy chicks to the egg industry? Because people like him seem to think it's somehow fun for ending misery. To help us lead the way. Why promote so much suffering to so many youths? Why not be as brave as the others who changed when they learned the truth?
That's a video I shot.
Save them now. Save
Yeah,
every
that
innocent
was
lamb,
my
every chicken,
video.
turkey, pig, and
Stop! There are ways to spread a message without making something so abysmally terrible by attacking one of the top chefs in the entire world. But if you want to get a message across...
What? Repzion, Gordon Ramsay is supporting animal abuse, and if she wants to criticize an individual person, or the industry as a whole, she has a right to. Are you, like, just a snowflake now? Like, buddy, you've made videos criticizing individuals. Like, you've made videos criticizing Onision because he seems like an abuser. He's abused his relationship partners. Seems like he might be guilty of some sort of sex abuse against minors. You've made videos about this. Like, why can't we attack individual people who are guilty of these things? Like, you've done the same thing. It's just that rather than veganism, you've talked about things like spousal abuse and sex abuse. You're a complete hypocrite. I don't... What's the argument against her criticizing a particular individual like Gordon Ramsay? I don't get it.
Cross. There is a right and wrong way to do it. And, well, the vegan teacher is the epitome of exactly that. She has a channel of over 100...
So, could you, like, he's just making a baseless claim. He's not actually making an argument. He's just saying it's wrong to criticize an individual. Why? Like, okay, I could say what you're doing right now is wrong. You're criticizing an individual. Rather than, like, making a video criticizing certain types of vegan activism that you find isn't effective, you're going after an individual person. Okay, so you're a hypocrite. You're doing the exact same thing she's doing. This makes no fucking sense. This isn't an argument. You just don't like that she's criticizing a particular person, but you're not even explaining why what she's doing is wrong.
25,000 subscribers. However, if you go to her content and sift through her entire channel, you're going to find that the majority of every single one of her videos, like this more recent one, the Why Are You a Vegan-Phobic Animal Bully at Gordon Ramsay, has over 83,000 dislikes. It is a extreme level of distaste that people...
Okay, so, dude, I don't think you understand the context behind this. Vegan teacher made a video. I thought it was a pretty harmless video, just singing, like, Gordon Ramsay, why don't you go vegan? Like, she didn't even, like, really criticize him in any way. She just asked, like, why don't you go vegan? You could eat, like, you can make vegan recipes and all that. Gordon Ramsay responded through his TikTok account where he just watched her video and started eating a burger. That sent a huge ton of, like, his fans her way, where they ended up trolling and harassing her, and I don't think you understand how bad the harassment was. She was getting death threats sent to her People were sending her photos of, like, guns and knives and shit. People actually found out where she lived. She got doxxed, and people would go to her house. They threw shit at her house. She's gotten a few letters saying that she's going to get attacked and murdered. People have tried to steal her dog. And yeah, I'm assuming this video where she called Gordon Ramsay like an anti-vegan bully. Yeah, I'm sure she had, like, I'm sure she was considering, you know, Gordon Ramsay sending his sycophantic fans to harass her. Like, look, Gordon Ramsay knows the kind of hate that would end up, you know, getting sent her way if he made a video like that. So yeah, I think that was kind of, I think in her mind that was a calculated decision that Gordon Ramsay made. And rather than him going out of his way to bully her, he just sent his fans to do it. So yeah, if I was in Gordon Ramsay's position where I have a huge, massive fan base, and somebody made a video like that, you know, a vulnerable individual that could get harassed, I wouldn't make a video like that. I think that's kind of irresponsible. So you kind of have to understand her point of view, where, yeah, she might see him as a bully because, in her point of view, Gordon Ramsay did go out of his way to bully her. It's just that he didn't really do it himself. He just got his fans to do it.
People have towards this woman. I want to be really upfront. I am not against people being vegan, vegetarian. It's not my business. You know, it's your body, your choice. If you want to not eat...
Yeah, so if it's your body, your choice, then why the hell aren't you promoting veganism and arguing that it's a moral obligation? So if you think it's your body, your choice, then where do the animals get to choose? Do the animals choose to die? Do the animals choose to be locked up and confined their entire life until they get their throats slit open? So if you believe in this concept, your body, your choice, then you should be promoting veganism and not this idea that, oh, you can kill whoever you want. Like, you don't believe in your body, your choice. If you believed in your body, your choice, you'd be vegan and you'd be promoting veganism and being an activist. You wouldn't say, oh yeah, you can murder innocent animals if you want. So no, this is just virtue signaling. This is paying lip service.
Animal products, that is fine by me. I just think there's a lot better methodology to go about to communicate, you know, not eating animal products. That doesn't come across as militant or dogmatic.
Okay, Repzion, you literally just played a fucking video of her singing a fucking song. Like, let's play it again.
Why is Gordon Ramsay an animal bully when instead of eating meat, he could just eat protein-packed veggies? Why does Gordon Ramsay choose to pay for blood and murder when he can just switch over to vegan mayo and a vegan burger?
This is militant? This is extreme. Like, please tell me, is that song more militant or extreme than what you would find in a slaughterhouse? Really? The song you were dancing to,
why does Gordon Ramsay
this is more militant and extreme than anything you would see in a slaughterhouse, dude.
Why does Gordon Ramsay think that kidnapping for cheese is okay?
So, Repzion, do you think music and using your freedom of speech is more militant and extreme than a Holocaust, dude? I don't get it. And by the way, like, he can come on my channel and discuss this with me anytime. I thought we were on good terms. We had an issue, you know, a while ago. I apologized to him for it. So, dude, like, if you want to have a cordial discussion about this, you can come on my channel anytime and we can discuss this crap, but you don't know what you're talking about. Honestly, this just sounds extremely dishonest. I think you're jumping on the vegan teacher hate bandwagon. Like, she's using her freedom of speech to talk about an issue that she cares about, and clearly these people are responsible for, you know, a serious ethical problem, and if she wants to criticize those people for something they're doing that's wrong, she has every right to. There's nothing militant about that. You do that all the time on your channel. I don't know how many videos you've made about Onision. You've made plenty of videos about other YouTubers that you've had problems with. You do this exact same thing. The only difference is, you know, she focuses on veganism, you focus on other issues. So you're a complete hypocrite. Are you militant? Are you an extremist? Because you've criticized Onision for, his spousal abuse and sex abuse issues? Are you a militant extremist because, I don't know, you've criticized Trisha Paytas and all these other big name YouTubers for lying and, doing scammy shit? I don't know how you're any different than that vegan teacher. Like, your content is essentially the same. You're just criticizing individuals for doing things that you don't like.
Shoving one's ideology in somebody's face constantly is just not an effective means to spread, I think, a great cause of veganism. Going around pointing a finger at people's face, getting and screaming at them, calling them names, and in this particular case...
Yeah, so, vegan teacher isn't screaming or getting in anyone's face. You've played the videos. Anybody who wishes to can go watch her videos. She isn't forcing anybody to watch them. As far as I know, she hasn't done any real-life activism where she actually goes up to people, screams in their face, or anything like that. She just uploads videos. Anybody who wants to watch them can watch them. Nobody's forced to watch them, so I don't know how you can claim she's screaming and getting in anyone's face. Are you screaming and getting in her face by making this video? None of this makes any goddamn sense, dude.
Is even going as far as the vegan teacher did to attack the LGBTQ community by saying that coming out is selfish. Yeah.
Yeah, so, Repzion, you're clearly not familiar with her or her content. She is part of the LGBTQ community. She's openly bisexual. She's sexually attracted to both men and women. So if she wants to comment on her feelings about the LGBTQ community, I feel that she's well within reason to do that since she's part of the community. You're also taking her quote out of context. She did say it's selfish to come out as, gay, bi, trans, whatever, but she didn't use selfish in the way that it's something that benefits yourself but is a negative to somebody else. She used the term selfish in that it only benefits you, not others. So if you saw the clip, you'd understand that. She wasn't saying it's a bad thing to come out as, gay, bi, or trans. She just said it's something that you do to benefit yourself, not others. Whereas veganism is something that you do to benefit others. That was the point. You're just taking a quote she said out of context.
Her TikTok is a very, very fun place.
You're absolutely wrong. Coming out as a vegan animal rights activist, as somebody who cares beyond themselves, is much more special than it is to come out as a member of the LGBTQ community. Coming out as a member of the LGBTQ community is an entirely selfish act. It's talking about you only. It's not talking about the things that you're going to do to better the world. Coming out as an animal rights activist is talking about the animals, others, not just you. In fact, it is a completely unselfish thing to do. Yes, I'm not saying it's easy in different societies, different religious backgrounds, but if you're in a religion that treats you badly, then just change religions. We've been over this before. But look at my comment section. Think of how terribly vegan animal rights activists are treated. Not just me, all of them. Do better. Be kind to those who are being kind. Be vegan.
This is absolutely crazy to me.
He saw the clip. Like, you saw the context. She even explained herself. What was the problem with anything she said? She just said coming out as part of the LGBTQ community is something you do for your own benefit, not others, but veganism is something that you do for the benefit of others. By the way, dude, again, she's bisexual. She's part of the LGBTQ community.
The hate on that vegan teacher really is a bandwagon thing. I occasionally go on lives on TikTok, and when I run into a vegan they always say they hate vegan influencers like that vegan teacher, but they never say why. It's sad people socially conform poop.
Oh, dude, it's totally a bandwagon thing. I think the only reason he ended up making this video was because he just wanted some extra views for his channel. This is, like, such a reach, and it's complete hypocrisy. Like, literally all the criticisms he's made against her so far, he could make against himself. It's bizarre, but thanks for the nation, huh? Yeah, I'd love to hear his explanation of why this is crazy.
Thought process behind such statements, comparing animal activism to that as coming out on your sexuality. And while some people may or may not agree with that,
she didn't compare the two. She said coming out as a member of the LGBTQ community is something you do for yourself, whereas coming out as a vegan activist is something you do for others. She didn't compare the two or claim they're similar.
agree that coming out is brave or special or whatever. I'm here today to tell you that there is still a very large stigma, and there's still a lot of oppression and judgment and condemnation that is put on people who come out as...
Yeah, same as people who come out as vegan, clearly, dude, since, like, you literally make a 21-minute video crying and complaining, claiming this person is a crazy militant extremist because she made a video telling Gordon Ramsay to start eating fucking vegan burgers. Like, bro, get real.
Bisexual, gay.
Dude, vegan teacher is bisexual. She came out on fucking TikTok telling everybody this. Like, her personal experience. Dude, this is her personal experience. She told me this. I think she's fine with me sharing. But she said when she came out as bisexual, it wasn't a big deal. Nobody really cared. She wasn't discriminated against in any way. But when she started becoming a vegan activist and, you know, trying to convince people to stop eating animal products, people discriminated against her tremendously. It's gotten to the point where she's receiving fucking death threats. She has to go to the police to make sure that these threats aren't legitimate and people aren't going to kill her. People have actually been to her house and sent her letters, thrown shit at her windows, tried to steal her fucking dog, dude. So she never received any of that sort of negative attention from coming out as bi, but she has received that sort of attention just for making fucking videos telling Gordon Ramsay to stop eating meat and make vegan options. Like, if that's her personal experience, I think she has every right to share her personal experience and how she feels about, you know, coming out as vegan and coming out as part of the LGBTQ community.
Trans. The fact that you say that, you know, coming out about one's, you know, identity or sexuality is selfish because of the animals go through, whatever, what have you, whatever stupid argument that you're trying to make here, which is just...
You're not even listening to her argument. She explained what she meant by the term selfish, and you're just refusing to listen to her.
Asinine. There are still states that practice electrocution on people. I don't know if you're aware of this. There's still schools designed to school the gay out of you. While some religions have somewhat progressed forward with allowing, you know, parts of...
You realize how many fucking people you'll meet in your daily life, including, like, people who are supposed to help you, like medical doctors, they try to convince you to not be vegan anymore. Only my most recent family doctor hasn't tried to convince me to start eating meat. And she's vegetarian. My previous family doctor, he kept trying to convince me to start eating meat. It wasn't until I got a blood test, after he asked me so many times, to prove I'm not deficient in anything, that he started, like, just not hounding me about that. I've had so many fucking people online try to convince me, oh, my depression will go away if I... like, start eating meat again, or, like, I don't know how many people have said, like, I'm gay, or a fucking loser or something because I don't eat meat. Like, it's weird how there's so many parallels between these two things, but he doesn't even realize. So, yeah, bro, discrimination against veganism is a real thing that I guess you're not cognizant about.
Of the LGBTQ and being a lot more inclusive, there's also a lot of churches that even to this very day do not. And children... and young teens or young adults are still outcasted and condemned and ostracized from their families simply for coming out about their sexuality.
People are ostracized from their families from coming out as vegan. Let me see. Let me just bring up the study. So the paper is titled, "It Ain't Easy Eating Greens, Evidence of Bias Towards Vegetarians and Vegans from Both Source and Target." I'll open up Sci-Hub so we can see the full paper. Because this is pretty interesting, and this is something that Repzion should probably read and learn about. So this paper involved 3 separate studies. I believe it looked at evidence of bias against vegans and vegetarians. So in the first study, they looked at prejudice towards vegans and vegetarians. This was actually really shocking. Okay, so this was the results of the first study in this paper. They were looking at prejudice against vegans and vegetarians compared to other targeted groups. So, as predicted, attitudes towards vegetarians and vegans were equivalent to or more negative than evaluations of common prejudice target groups. As displayed in Table 1, both vegetarians and vegans were evaluated equivalently to immigrants, asexuals, and atheists, and significantly more negatively than blacks. Vegetarians were evaluated equivalently to homosexuals, whereas vegans were evaluated more negatively than homosexuals. Strikingly, only drug addicts were evaluated more negatively than vegetarians and vegans. So if you actually look at empirical research on this topic, no, at least within the sample that they looked at in this study, vegans were actually viewed more negatively than blacks and homosexuals. Only drug addicts were viewed more negatively. So you're talking about, like, you went on a rant here about how, oh, coming out as gay isn't the same thing as, vegan activism. Well, look, if you look at the empirical research that's available right now, vegans are viewed more negatively than gays. So, no, the prejudice against vegans arguably is similar. There's also another part of the study. We'll just scroll down. There's the third study. They actually looked at proportion of vegetarians, vegans experiencing negativity due to vegetarianism/veganism. So they talk about experiences of prejudice or discrimination. That's, this, and then the percentage of vegans and vegetarians who have experienced this. Vegans are on the far right. Friends decreased contact after revealing being vegetarian or vegan. About a quarter of vegans, their friends decrease contact with them after they've come out and admitted their veganism. Friends ceased contact after coming out as vegan. 7.3% of vegans experience friends ceasing contact completely after going vegan. Family members decrease contact after person revealed being vegan. 9.9%. So about 1 out of 10 vegans, family members reduce contact with them. And this is even more shocking. Family members ceased contact after revealing, that the person went vegan. 3%. Like, it's insane that there's even, anything above 0 here. So this is a pretty common thing. Family members will stop talking to you if you go vegan. Similar to how family members will disown you if you come out as gay. So this sort of thing does happen to vegans too. You can also just go through this chart a bit more. Like, it talks about feeling anxiety and having, other social issues. Being denied a job promotion due to being vegan, 2.6%. Reported engaging in at least some discrimination coping mechanism after going vegan. 77%! No, vegans are discriminated against pretty regularly. It's not unreasonable to compare discrimination against vegans to discrimination against other targeted groups like homosexuals. And again, if we're talking about that vegan teacher specifically, she's bisexual. She's come out as being bi. She didn't receive any discrimination after coming out as bi, but she received a ton of discrimination after coming out as vegan. It also affected her job and everything. I don't know if she shared that publicly, but if she feels like she wants to, she can do that. And I mean, there's people on my, subscribers of mine who've actually shared a similar story. There's gay and lesbian subscribers of mine who've said they've never really experienced discrimination for being, gay or openly gay, but they have for being vegan. It all depends on the kind of community you're in and your own personal experience. But I don't know why Repzion is claiming, it's ridiculous to make this sort of comparison. Dude, you're not vegan, and as far as I know, you're not gay or bi. So I don't know why you feel like you're in a better position to talk about this than a bisexual vegan like that vegan teacher.
To claim that it's selfish to do so is one of the most ignorant, naive, horrible things that you can say to people. I don't even understand. I genuinely don't understand the correlation between animal activism and veganism and somebody coming out. To even make that comparison is just really juvenile and really goes to show that the vegan teacher, in my personal opinion, is somebody who will say and do anything to garner a reaction, which is what she's doing here.
Which is what you're doing here. Like, dude, you saw her video. You're refusing not to listen to her.
And what she's done on YouTube with many, many, many other creators. Even right now, she's attacking SSSS Sniper Wolf, claiming that her dogs need to be vegan. She goes around on other people quite frequently on her channel, saying that their dogs need
Why is that a problem?
to be vegan, that you need to give your dog a vegan diet. Not all animals are the same. Just FYI, I don't know if you're aware of that. Certain dogs can't eat vegan diets. It's not.
Can you show me any veterinary journals proving that certain dogs cannot eat a properly formulated vegan food? This is a baseless claim.
Not healthy for animals. And one of the things, this is a
What do you mean not healthy? Look, I've made a couple videos about this. Yeah, again, Repzion. If you want to come onto my channel and discuss this, feel free to do so. I've actually done a fair bit of research into plant-based nutrition for companion animals. Generally speaking, according to the research I've seen, actually vegan cats and dogs do better on average than cats and dogs fed a normal kind of omnivorous diet. So I don't know how you can make this claim. I'm not aware of any disease or medical condition that a dog or cat can have where they cannot eat a plant-based diet if it's formulated correctly.
Genuine. If you're vegan, I have a genuine question. So a lot of vegan stuff, products, foods, non-animal products, a lot of them contain soy and nuts. And when it comes to veganism, somebody who is allergic to, let's say, soy and nuts, okay? People having two different allergies, it's a real thing. But let's say like you're deathly ill of nuts. How then are you going to consume and get protein in your body? Because believe it or not, your body needs protein.
So, Repzion, there are literally millions of edible plant species. There are more protein sources than soy and nuts. There's beans, legumes, there are other protein sources like vital wheat gluten. So if you've ever seen seitan, you can use that as a protein source. There are different types of protein too. There's pea protein, rice protein. You can take supplements like that. Hemp protein. There's even potato protein. Usually it's actually used as a ingredient for animal foods, but I think you can actually buy potato protein in bulk, and it's a pretty high quality protein source. So yeah, dude, there's more foods that contain protein than just soy and nuts.
Right? Okay? Your body needs protein. I'm not a medical professional, but I know for a fact your body needs protein, and you can get protein from vegan products, absolutely. But what if your body is allergic to one of the main ingredients of the majority of vegan products, which is nuts? What do you do then?
What? I'm not aware of many vegan foods that contain nuts. I think nuts contain nuts. Like, I guess maybe you could find some like trail mix bars or something that contain nuts in them. I think he meant to say soy. Like, yeah, a lot of mock meats contain soy. Right now, I think most mock meats just contain pea protein, not even soy. I think the Beyond Meat uses pea protein, not soy. Pretty sure they're soy-free.
Ill to. This idea, this is how I view it, this black and white extremism, this militantism that you...
Oh yeah, so 0.001% of people that are allergic to both soy and nuts, yeah, it's incredibly unlikely that you'd be allergic to both. By the way, the most common food allergy is actually dairy. So weird how he doesn't mention that.
Have to be vegan, and if you're not vegan, you cannot, and you will never care about animals, is just simply just not true. I love my cat.
So, dude, if you cared about animals, you wouldn't murder them. So this is just paying lip service and virtue signaling. If you cared about animals, you wouldn't murder them. I think that's pretty reasonable to say. So, no, what you care about is yourself, and maybe some of the things around you. But do you care about animals as a whole? No. You might care about your cats personally. Do you care about the animals that you have to kill to feed your cat whatever food you're giving it? Do you care about the animals that you kill whenever you, I don't know, eat bacon or sausages or chicken or whatever you eat, on a daily basis? No. So, no, you care about some animals, maybe, you could say that, but you certainly don't care about animals as a whole.
Love my dog, but in another part of the world, they consume these pets. That doesn't make it okay, trust me. I'm all against people, eating cats and dogs. But there's a lot of arguments to be made.
If you're against people eating cats and dogs, then how can you justify eating any other animal? Can you explain to me, like, what the major difference is between a cat, dog, and, I don't know, say a cow or a pig, where it's okay to kill the cow and pig, but not the dog or cat? That's weird.
About the domestication and non-domestication of animals. But I want to say this for the record, is that if I have the chance to try a product that is non-animal related, that doesn't use animal products, I will absolutely jump at the opportunity to try it. In fact, in my refrigerator right now, I have oat milk. Oatly, I think it's the brand Oatly. I have Oatly ice cream. It's actually, Oatly ice cream's amazing, and that's vegan. There are some really good vegan products out there, but it really isn't always financially viable or even protein viable for people who have severe allergies or are allergic to a lot of different...
What? Protein viable? I've never even heard of that term before. Yeah, so Repzion, there's actual research on this. There's the Well study. Yeah, so the Well study was a dietary intervention for women who are recovering from cancer. And the goal of the study was to see whether or not women who are on a plant-based diet who are recovering from cancer do better health-wise than women eating kind of a normal mixed omnivorous diet. One of the one of the outcome measurements that they wanted to just look at out of curiosity was the cost effectiveness of the dietary intervention. So they wanted to see if it was massively more expensive to follow the plant-based dietary recommendation in the study, to see if it's really feasible for most patients. So yeah, what they found in the Well study was that people following the plant-based diet intervention, they spent an average of $1.25 more on their food per week. Not an insane increased expenditure. Guelph University also conducted a study on the recent changes to the Canadian Food Guide. So the Canadian Food Guide recently became more plant-based. They got rid of a lot of animal food recommendations. It's very highly plant-based now. Well, what they found was if a family of 4 were to switch to the new plant-based diet of the Canadian Food Guide, they'd save an average of about 10% on their annual food bill. So there's some slightly mixed findings with the research on the, kind of cost of a vegan diet. But yeah, to claim that some people can't afford to go vegan is just absolutely ridiculous. It doesn't cost any more. There's certain situations where it could be more expensive, depending on the food choices you're making. If you get a lot of, more expensive kind of luxury food items, like if you're eating out at restaurants a lot, or if you're buying like a lot of Beyond Meat products, yeah, it might be more expensive. If you're being a little more frugal and eating whole foods, sticking to kind of, cheaper foods like rice, beans, pasta, it's going to be cheaper. So to claim that some people can't go vegan, can't afford it, it's ridiculous. Dude, there's people who are subscribed to me who are broke and...
Richard, I don't know if you know this. You might want to do some research and look into your studies, but food contains nuts. Checkmate, game over. Nice try, but your rep's done. Holy shit, Repzion, Filian and Moist Critical are the same person.
Well, thank you, dude. Yeah, I don't think nuts is really a checkmate for vegans, but thanks for the nation, Vegan Vio. I lost my train of thought now, great. Yeah, so there are people in my, who are subscribed to me, who are broke-ass college students who can only afford like $10 or $20 per week on food, who are vegan. There are people from other countries who are subscribed to me, like from India, where they're fucking poor as hell. And they still tell me, like, look, I'm fucking broke, I'm in India, I'm in a third world country, and they're still on a vegan diet. Like, it's not expensive. If you want to, like, make more frugal food choices and save money, you can. If you have extra money and want to buy more expensive foods and eat out more, you can. You have that option. So, really bad argument.
Different things. In no way am I saying don't go vegan, because, again, if you want to go vegan, that's your personal choice. I will support you, as long as you're not hurting any...
Yeah, veganism isn't a personal choice. It's a moral obligation. So it's not a personal choice when you could potentially be harming others. So I don't know why you're framing it as a personal choice. Is it a personal choice for me to commit cannibalism? If I wanted to eat you, would you, like, refer to that as a personal choice? Obviously not. So if your dietary choices harm others, it's not a personal choice. It's a choice you're making that that harms others, so it's not a personal choice.
anybody personally. I don't really care what you do, what you ingest, you know? If you skim around on the Vegan Teacher channel, you're going to find that she uses the term vegan phobic a lot in her video titles. And I'm going to be, just to say it clear out, I'm not vegan phobic, and I think this is a horrendous term to
You clearly are, because when anybody actually does vegan activism, you have a huge fucking problem with it. So, no, you are. She's made completely sensible, reasonable replies to people, and you've freaked out and said she is wrong. Crazy, militant, a horrible person. You clearly are vegan phobic.
use, because the majority of people are not afraid of veganism. I know that I'm not. If I go to a restaurant, I've actually
So, yeah, that's a bit of a... That's just a disingenuous misuse of the term. So when somebody is accused of being homophobic, that doesn't necessarily mean they have a phobia or they're literally afraid of gay people. Like, I don't know, somebody might be afraid of spiders. Usually that term means, like, refers to prejudice, not an actual phobia. So you clearly do have a prejudice against that vegan teacher for being vegan. So, yeah.
been to a couple vegan restaurants, but if I go to a restaurant a lot and they have vegan options, at some point I'm gonna try that because I love to see what options are out there to not consume animal products. If I have the chance to do so, I definitely will.
Okay, dude, so as far as I know, you're not vegan. So if you know that there's plenty of vegan options, why aren't you vegan? Like, you're calling that vegan teacher militant and crazy. Like, I think it's a lot more militant and crazy to knowingly and willingly support animal abuse and support a Holocaust.
But it's not a way that I want to live my life, and it's not really anybody's business if I consume animal products.
Yeah, it is. Dude, so, why do you think you should be able to support a Holocaust? Tell me. I think we definitely should have a debate and discussion on this topic. I don't know how you could possibly think that you should have a right to support a Holocaust. That's just crazy. Like, you're literally sitting here saying, I should have a right to slit the throats open of animals. And then you're claiming that vegan teacher is like a crazy militant. Who's being crazy and militant here? She's not saying that, you know, she wants to kill anybody. But here you are saying you want to kill sentient beings, like, who want to live. That's just nuts.
On a day-to-day basis or not. I do know that for the most part, I've cut out a lot of pork. I rarely eat pork, and I rarely eat steak and meat anymore outside of chicken. Chicken and fish are like my two main things that I eat. I do eat meat, but it's just, I've completely taken out the amount that I consume has been drastically changed.
Okay, so, great. I don't see why, because you're murdering less sentient beings, that means you deserve a pat on the back. Why are you murdering animals, period?
Because I tried to eat really clean and really healthy. For me, I went vegan for like one or 2 months, and it was hard. It's doable, but I just...
Yeah, it's not hard. You're just selfish.
I don't want to be vegan. It's just that simple. It's not something that I will enjoy doing, and I do enjoy eating a nice steak every once in a while, and I don't think that you should be angry.
Yeah, okay, so if I told you, I like slitting a dog's throat open and, you know, eating its dead, rotten corpse every once in a while, is that okay? Like, he literally, on camera, just a couple minutes ago, said he thinks it's wrong to eat dogs. Like, they do that in other countries. China, South Korea, they're known for it. I think in the Philippines, it's also done. Can you explain to me the difference between a dog and a cow where you think it's okay to murder a cow but not a dog? If a dog was similar enough to a cow, would you say it's okay to eat that dog? Like, this makes no sense to me. I don't know how we can justify any of these beliefs. Yeah, so dude, who's the crazy militant one? You're saying you want to murder innocent animals. Like, bro. Not cowspiracy. Have you seen cows? They're really gentle, sweet, curious creatures. They're intelligent. They care about each other. They care about their young. Like, why would you want to kill a creature like this? Like, don't you see, like, they can experience things like love and affection? They care for one another. They want to live. And then you want to slit its throat open and eat its flesh? And then you're calling that vegan teacher a crazy militant? Like, dude, who's the crazy militant one? You want to murder an animal like this? They're intelligent, sweet animals. Like, this is just all over the place. I think you're just trying to justify your own bad choices here.
Or upset at people who do eat steak every once in a while, because again, it's none of your business. What people
Yeah, okay, it's none of my business. Okay, so if you were to kill and eat a person, is that anybody's business as long as you eat it? It's nobody's business. What's the argument here? There's no argument. You're just saying I want to do it. Like, do you just get to do whatever you want to do? If you want to murder innocent animals, you should be able to do that. Is it your business when people murder dogs? Apparently it is, since you said it's wrong. I don't understand any of this. I think we really need to have a debate discussion on this topic.
do with their
I'm actually going to leave a comment here. I think we should have a debate/discussion on some of these issues. You should contact me through my email and we can get a live discussion set up. And I don't know if he has an email on his About page for business inquiries. Let me see. He's probably going to deny or ignore me like everybody else. I think he realizes his arguments are terrible. I'm sure he's smart enough to know that.
Imagine if all the kids whose parents take them to pick apples or berries also made their kids go slaughter their own meat. Ironic they don't do that, despite the average person now eats way more meat than they do fruit.
Yeah, I wonder what Repzion would think about parents who indoctrinate their kids into murdering animals. It's kind of weird. I'd like to discuss all this stuff with him. Like, it's funny how, like, it's not a normal thing. Nobody practically, goes killing animals with their fucking kids, but they do go, like, strawberry picking. But, yeah, I think that says something. I think it says something. Thanks for the donation, Cause Logic, bro.
Own body. If they want to consume meat, that's their business. Just in the same way, if you don't want to consume meat, that's your business. I'm not going to go out of my way to like attack you or anything. Now, maybe me 8 years ago, yes, I definitely would have, because my methodology towards activism and like veganism was very, very different then. And if you go back on my channel, you'll actually find that I made a lot of anti-vegan videos.
Yes, so Repzion, you eating meat is certainly my business. Anytime you are committing unnecessary, unjustified harm against somebody else, I think it's everybody's business. So you're going to have to justify why it's morally acceptable to needlessly commit a Holocaust. I don't see how you could possibly justify murdering these animals. How is it not my business when you're killing intelligent, sentient beings? Can you, like... If it would be my business when you're killing a person, why would it not be my business when you're killing an animal? Can you describe me, like, the qualitative difference between a human and an animal where it's okay to kill an animal, but somehow, like, humans are unique where it is a problem? I don't understand. Yeah, I definitely ask him to name the trait. Name the trait that's lacking in animals, but if lacking in a human being would justify killing a human being. I don't see a morally significant difference between a cow and a human being, where it's okay to kill a cow. If you want to kill a cow and eat it, it's fine, but if you wanted to kill a human and eat it, it wouldn't be fine. I don't think you could possibly answer that.
But now, years later, I've definitely come around and I see there are definitely benefits to being vegan and changing your diet and eating differently, and I promote a vegan lifestyle if that's what you want to do. I have no problem with that, and I respect that. It's just not for me, and if you can't...
Yeah, this is just lip service, dude. I don't respect your dietary choices. I don't have to. And I think you know full well you have no argument or justification to support a Holocaust.
Respect the fact that I say it's just not for me, and you continuously insist and attack people and other YouTubers just because you can, because you are one weirdo woman who doesn't know how to teach properly, because your name's Vegan Teacher. You're not really doing an effective means of teaching when you're pushing people away for a good cause. That's just my personal opinion, but, hey,
So, yeah, a lot of things said here that make no sense. So just because somebody disagrees with you, I don't know why that means you shouldn't be able to continually criticize them. That makes no sense to me. You continually criticize Onision and plenty of other YouTubers who continue to disagree with you, regardless of what videos you put out, how you've explained what they're doing is wrong. So this is just pure hypocrisy on your part. I don't know how many videos you've made about Onision. Still, like, guess what? Despite all your efforts, Onision isn't a better person. He still abuses his partners. He's still guilty of probably some sort of sex abuse. Have you helped the situation at all? No? So are you an ineffective teacher? Are you attacking and harassing people? None of this makes sense, dude. Guess what? Everybody has a right to criticize others. It's called free speech. If you have a problem with that, I don't know, maybe you should go to maybe a different country where free speech isn't allowed. Maybe Saudi Arabia would be good for you.
I digress. You make videos like this one?
Religion? That's a good question. I think you should change your religion like you change your underwear. You know, change your religion. Show God that you really care. Change your religion. Try something new. Use your critical thinking skills to question all you eat, drink, buy, think, say, and do. Yeah, like, you should change your religion if it tells you to be cruel. And change your religion if it has a strange or crazy rule. Change your religion. Why not be an atheist every Sunday? What's important no matter what is that you don't hurt animals. In any way.
What is his problem with this video? So, promoting critical thinking and telling people to maybe question their religious beliefs if they're bizarre or promote cruelty is a problem to him?
That's what I think. Karen? People ask, are you friends with people who aren't vegan? Well, it's not that simple.
Actually, it is that simple. I'm not gonna base my friendship with somebody based upon what you eat, dude.
Yeah, so it's not just about what you eat. Would you be friends with somebody who killed and ate people? Oh, weird. So if you wouldn't base your friendship based on what you eat, so you'd have no problem being friends with somebody who kills people and eats them? So if somebody doesn't want to be friends with somebody who's committing animal abuse and supporting Holocaust, they have every right to disassociate from them. There's this human right we have called freedom of association. If you personally don't want to be friends with someone because they eat meat, because they dress a certain way, because they don't do things you like, you don't have to be friends with them. So yeah, Repzion, if somebody doesn't want to be friends with somebody because they're not vegan, that's up to them. I'm sure you would refuse to be friends with somebody who killed and ate dogs. So if you have a problem with being friends with someone because they kill animals that you like, I don't see how it's unreasonable for a vegan to refuse to be friends with someone if they're killing animals that they like.
If, let's say, people don't know what happens to the animals, it hasn't really clicked in their heads yet what's going on, and they're kind of innocent. You know, they just really don't believe what's going on in these factory farms, or they honestly think it happens in other countries, and not where they are. Then you kind of have to forgive them because they just don't know better. But let's say you've explained to somebody in your life several times about what's going on, and you've asked them to watch the documentaries, and they just point blank refuse, or just are committing themselves to willful ignorance. Can you be friends with them? Well, how would you feel if you knew that one of your best friends or a family member was paying people to hurt cats? Was your neighbor was eating cats, or your cousin was eating cats, or somebody else that's really close to you in your life, a really good friend, was eating dogs, and you explain to them that this causes a lot of suffering and pain, and that it also hurts you just to know that it goes...
I don't, like, this is what's really bizarre to me. She actually ends up using the same arguments, and then Repzion still makes, like, a weird reply that doesn't even, like, address anything she's saying. I'm really curious what he's going to say after this.
...goes on because you're an animal rights activist. It's pretty hard to keep respecting people like that, because they have a choice, and they're choosing to be cruel on purpose. So, my answer is no. I can't be friends with people like that.
Wow, okay then, you know? You can't be friends with non-vegans. That's really actually sad. You're so strung up on an ideology or on activism that you cannot be friends with somebody who thinks differently than you, or even...
Yeah, so, Repzion, that is not a reply to what she said in any way. I think you're deliberately trying not to address anything she said. Would you be friends with someone who kills and eats dogs or cats? Tell me. You've said in this video, near the beginning of this video, that you think it's morally wrong when people eat dogs. You have a big problem with that. So would you be friends with someone who's killing and eating dogs? I doubt you would be. So how is that any fucking different than somebody choosing not to be friends with someone who's killing other animals? I don't get it. Like, Repzion, you have a freedom of association. You don't have to be friends with anyone who does things that you don't like. So, like, this is just complete hypocrisy. If she doesn't want to be friends with somebody who's killing and eating animals, that's her fucking choice. Just like how it's your choice not to be friends with somebody who's killing and eating dogs or doing anything else you don't fucking like. What is the problem here?
Lives a lifestyle that maybe doesn't reflect exactly what you believe in. And maybe this is just a silly example, but I have friends who are really into poly relationships. I'm not about that life. I'm into monogamy, right? And I know this is different because we're not talking about animals here, but just hear me out. Poly relationships.
Wow, this is so disingenuous. Repzion, somebody being in a polyamorous relationship doesn't harm you or anyone else. Somebody eating meat does harm other people. It harms animals. There are plenty of other lifestyle choices or political beliefs that you might have that would harm animals or people. Somebody who's a member of the KKK or neo-Nazis, they certainly are causing harm in some way. And it would make sense not to want to be friends with a person like that. It would make sense to not want to be friends with somebody who's killing and eating dogs because they're causing, like, horrible, horrific harm. Somebody being in a polyamorous relationship is completely disanalogous to somebody eating meat, being a member of the KKK, or anything that causes harm. This is ridiculous. You're just deliberately being disingenuous.
This blows my mind at this level of militantism. And I'm going to be, for the record,
Okay, so I guess you're a militant because you clearly wouldn't be friends with anyone who kills and eats dogs. That vegan teacher brought that up and you refused to even acknowledge that point. So I guess you're a militant. You're like a militant, crazy dog lover because you wouldn't be friends with somebody who kills and eats dogs.
militantism, regardless of what it is, whether it's activism, religion, personal beliefs, politics, militantism is always bad, in my opinion.
Okay, well, you're a militant dog lover since you wouldn't be friends with somebody who kills and eats dogs. So there you go. Hypocrite.
Comes to, like, ideologies like this.
This is awful.
It pushes people away for a cause, and I believe that you should be helping people to want to become vegan by...
Okay, bro, what's militant? Is you slitting the throats open of kind, gentle, innocent, intelligent animals. Is that militant, or is that vegan teacher singing a song asking you to stop harming these animals? Or is that militant? Get real, dude. Stop being a snowflake.
Not pressuring them and telling them how to live their lives. How you educate people is one of the most vital aspects.
Okay, so, dude, if you don't think we should pressure people and tell them how to live their lives, are you against the police? Are you against the court system and legal system? We pressure people and tell them how to live their lives constantly. If somebody is causing harm to somebody else, they should be stopped. So if you don't believe somebody should be stopped if they're causing harm to others, then I guess you're against the police, you're against the court system, prison system. Should everybody be able to do whatever they want and harm whoever they want? This makes no sense. We pressure people to do the right thing all the time.
I can't trust them to have integrity or to be kind, and it's unfortunate. I will be polite to them. I will, have basic interactions with them, but will I ever fully trust them? No.
Yeah, so Repzion, let me ask you this. Would you trust somebody who kills and eats dogs? For the same reason you wouldn't trust somebody who kills and eats dogs, that vegan teacher wouldn't trust somebody who kills and eats every other animal.
So why aren't you vegan yet?
Because I don't want to be.
Yeah, because, no, it's not just because you don't want to be, it's because you're selfish. You really only care about yourself. You don't care about who you're harming. And it is just too much for you to make the most minor changes to your daily routine. Rather than buying the normal burger at the store, just move your hand 2 inches and buy the Beyond Burger. That's why you're not vegan.
That's a valid response. I don't want to be a certain that way.
Okay, cool. I don't want, like, what if I said, okay, well, I don't want to not murder people. I don't want to not rape. I don't want to not kill and eat dogs. Is that a valid response? If somebody was a rapist, a murderer, killed and ate dogs, is them saying, oh, well, I just want to keep doing it. Is that a valid response, dude? This isn't a valid response. This is just you stating your preference. Well, your preference doesn't justify what you're doing.
Just as you don't want to be somebody who eats meat. If I can respect you, then you should be able to respect me.
She never said she doesn't respect you. She just said she doesn't want to be friends with you.
Honestly. What stops you? Is laziness an okay excuse? If you were the victim and someone said, well, I just can't be bothered to Google the recipes, or it's just too hard for me to just reach for the soy milk instead of the cow milk, it's just too hard. Would you respect that person? If somebody was pinning down dogs and cats and taking milk from them?
Before this even ends, let me guess. He is not even going to reply to that statement. She keeps bringing up, would you respect somebody who, kills and eats dogs? Would you be friends with somebody who kills and eats dogs? Would you respect a choice like that? He hasn't responded yet. I'm assuming he's just going to ignore it.
Or if you knew somebody was taking, say, the eggs of geese or swans, just going around outdoors and gathering them and just taking them because they wanted eggs, because they can't live without eggs.
I have another question, if I have any vegans watching me here. How does one truly live a life of not having any animal products in their day-to-day life? And when I'm talking about extreme causes here, I'm talking, you have a laptop, you have a phone, right? You have a TV, you have headphones, the oven that you have, the refrigerator that you have, the glass in your frames, the vegan teacher. I don't know if you know this, how glass is made, and certain types of glasses use animal products. Like, if you go to the core.
So, Repzion, you haven't even responded to a single thing she said. She made the point, would you trust somebody who kills and eats dogs? What do you have to say? How can I even really be vegan? That's not a response, dude. So you fail. Why did you even upload this? Like, you have to have known you're just embarrassing yourself. I'm guessing he's not going to agree to debate me because, like, if he's doing this shit, he's smart enough to know. He's not like a dum-dum. He's smart enough to know that he's just being a weasel here. You're not responding to anything she said.
I'm all about reducing plastic waste, making the environment a better place. But we're not at the point yet where I think that we can fully, as a nation in the world, do that fully. And I don't know if we ever will be. I don't know.
I don't even know what to, say, dude. Okay, so because we can't eliminate plastic waste, it's okay to murder animals? I'm very confused. This was a terrible video, dude. You should be embarrassed. I'd like to think we're still on good terms, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to criticize you for saying something just absolutely ridiculous. So, yeah, Repzion, I offered to debate you live on this topic. Hopefully you can
Your
message me
homie
back.
Nick's strength